Hi, Nobby. Welcome today, and thank you for joining in today.
Hey Priya, hi, how you going?
Good, good. Thanks for accepting out my request. I just want to start, like we have been talking offline and we have been communicating about your journey a lot of times. So I would like to know what made you think that to become an entrepreneur?
I guess I just fell into it. It wasn't something that I was aiming for. I used to be a financial advisor for 20 years, and I got out of the industry in 2006, and I took a couple of years off. And then one day, after I'd finished all my landscaping and renovating and gardening and everything, a switch went off in my head and said that I was bored. I still wanted to help people with managing money, but I didn't want to go back into the regulated side of things like banks and insurance companies. And there was one question that always kept coming back into my mind, and it was because of women. And
Right.
yeah, so I ended up creating a software program to address their concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that brought me online because marketing for that sort of thing, the world shifted to
Yeah.
basically to online. And so if you're not an employee, you must be an entrepreneur.
Interesting. So you just kind of, flow with the wind and you initiated that this is what you are looking for. So in that sense, like every entrepreneur thinks about brand positioning. So how do you brand position yourself in this particular journey?
Well, I think I like to consider myself to be unique in as much
Yeah.
as the solution that I created. And so
Mhm.
therefore, and because the target audience is also very specific,
Yeah.
being women, it niches it down further, so it becomes more brand specific, I suppose. And so
Right.
it's the program itself that actually creates the brand.
Right.
Um, and it's like anything, you want to be a trusted advisor to people.
Right.
And with 20 years in financial services, it's not hard to do. If you've had a good history there, then certainly you've got to be trustworthy.
Sure. And it's all come to building the relationship and, knowing your target market. Of course, that clarifies a lot of things in itself.
Mm.
So what channel do you think is best for you?
Look, that's a hard one because the people that you want to work with could be on any sort of platform.
Right.
Um, I think probably professional women,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore you've got LinkedIn, but
Mm-hmm.
Facebook also has its place, and there is a lot of entrepreneurial women's groups
Yeah.
on Facebook because let's face it, it was where everything started, and then
Right.
everything else evolved from. So I think Facebook is obviously still a good place to go to, but if you're looking for more targeted clients, I guess, audience,
Mm-hmm.
then LinkedIn is certainly a place to look. As well as I look at employers
Hmm.
because what I do allows them to be able to help their employees as well.
Sure. And do you think like going in-person meetings is gonna make more difference than actually staying only on the digital side?
Yeah, it's a two-edged sword, that one, really. You could, I think the trust factor is certainly
Hmm.
in a personalized meeting, right,
Right.
without a doubt whatsoever.
Hmm.
There's a saying that became popular, which was know, like, and trust. And
Mm-hmm.
the reality is people don't need to know, like, and trust you. If you've got the solution to their problem,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they really want.
Right.
So it doesn't need to be an in-person meeting. If I can present the program that I have and it meets their needs and they're ecstatic about it, they don't care about me. They just want the result.
Right. So what do you think about going to the summit, like the upcoming summit is coming then?
Okay, so having been locked away for a couple of years, and especially where we are, we've been the most locked away of everybody. The summit is going to be a fantastic experience
Hmm.
because you've got a whole range of experienced people there
Mm-hmm.
who've gone through a whole different range of products and services. And
Right.
so, they're addressing people from a whole lot of different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's in person. And so therefore, you get to be that more direct. You also get the opportunity to ask questions again. And you can meet up with them afterwards. I think that's probably the best thing, is actually being able to go up. Sometimes people will sit in a room and they don't know whether they should ask a question or not, because they feel, I could be embarrassed here, but they'll go and ask it privately later. So I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah. And I believe I've been joining a lot of event, especially during COVID and before that. I mean, online is not new. For corporate world, it's been there for more than a decade. We have been using this whole webinar and all those stuff, virtual meetings, since like last 15 years. But then when this COVID hit, it kind of forced the people who were also ignorant to these kind of things. But when I actually go to these kind of a meeting, I have noticed the people who are participating is not 100% there, right? They are also doing some work on the laptop. They are also trying to, respond to the phone. They are listening, but they are not listening, right? Because like with that, I mean, let's face it, this little screen you are showing up, sometimes you off your camera and you don't know what you are doing on the participants are doing behind the scene. So I have noticed when people come to more personal in-person events, they are more present. They know that this is the time I'm going to invest here. That's what I am preferred. That's why I prefer going to the more in-person event where I can shake hands. And when I'm talking, people are actually paying entire attention with their full body language. I can actually anticipate what's going on. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. And there is a saying that when you pay attention. And I think the good thing is about going to in-person events is you can block out the rest of everything else that annoys your day. All the interruptions, the phone calls, the emails, people knocking on your door or whatever. They're blocked out, and you're able to concentrate on what it is that the person is actually talking about. So you can listen more intently. Nobody walks into the room and starts shouting anything around. Everybody's listening to that presenter. So yeah, it's when you pay to go to something, you value the education that you get from it, and that's what people walk away from there with. Even if they don't use the knowledge that they've gained immediately, it's locked away for the future.
Right. So you are a speaker, and what would you like to say the audience who is listening us?
Well, I suppose if you attend any event or any presentation at the event, mine's the one to be at. I think there's a lot of important things. There's a lot of benefits for anybody coming to the event, because there's so many diversified subjects. And mine in particular is around money and managing money. And with everything that's happened in the world recently, the cost of living, and people looking forward to retirement and housing affordability, managing money is a hard thing. It's not just a matter of running up a budget, because if you've got to run up a budget, you're already in trouble. What you need to have is a plan, and that's what I talk about. And the way that I've done it is totally different to the way anybody else has done it. And I think that's what sets me apart from other financial advisors. Not that I'm a financial advisor anymore, thank goodness. But the learning that I had during those years has qualified me to create the software that I did. The people that look at it love it. So I'd invite anybody to come along and listen to my presentation at least, and walk away with that knowledge and education.
Sure. And other than that, on the 17th, we are focusing on completely on marketing, and 18th, we are focusing on completely on learning how to pitch, how to sell, and also there is a pitch night. So investors are coming, so you should come and actually listen like-minded people. And the 17th, it will be all about mindset and how to use the money and how to plan the money with Nobby. So please join in. Thank you so much joining in today, Nobby. Really appreciate your time, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you and learn more about what you are doing in your space.
It's a pleasure always catching up with you as well, Priya. I look forward to seeing you up there.
Thank you so much.